Greetings, my excellent friends. My name is Gavaroc and this is the story of Hildibrand Manderville. Join me and my ever-loyal Gala kitten as we witness firsthand the shenanigans that Inspector Hildibrand inspires all around him. We are hot on the trail of the phantom thief of many faces. Thus far, he's managed to steal pretty much everything that he has announced that he wants to, and we have been there to watch him do so while attempting to thwart him and failing completely at every turn. But it's been an entertaining ride, so it's not all bad. His most recent calling card states that he is after the Victor's spoils. I don't know anybody named Victor, and as far as I can tell, neither does Hildibrand, so for lack of any better ideas, let's see if Ellie knows where we should go next. 8-armed and dangerous. Ellie has the latest information on the Phantom Thief's target. Gavaroc, I was wondering when you'd show up. I've got the latest scoop on the Victor's spoils that our many-faced friend has set his sights on. That's convenient. Have you visited the Colosseum, mate? There's a tourney in the works, and it's looking to be the big one. The Mithril Cup, sponsored by none other than the Amagina & Sons mineral concern. They say that Master Firgeist will be furnishing the prizes himself from his personal collection. Small wonder it's captured the attention of Mr. Stickyfingers. You are familiar with the concern, yeah? It's only the largest mining interest in the Sultanate, after all. The chairman, Master Firgeist, sits on the syndicate, and possesses such wealth that rumour has it he could buy half the realm if he chose to. He's also renowned for being something of a martial arts enthusiast. With his position affording him little opportunity to test his own skills, he settles for living vicariously through the exploits of others, hence his sponsorship of tournaments like the Mithril Cup. My colleague Ganelon is in Uldar covering the tourney as we speak. If we were to track him down, I bet he'd be able to give us something to get our investigation started. Let's make for Uldar, find Ganelon, and get this show on the road. And thus we return to Thanalan, where it all began, not only for this story, but indeed for mine. I am a native Thanalanian, after all. Well, not really. I don't actually know my own past. I just showed up on the steps of Nald one day with a thaumaturge's cane, ready to get about the business of adventuring. Beyond that, I really couldn't tell you. Only that I abandoned the thaumaturgely black magely ways as soon as I hit a level high enough to adopt the red coat instead, given that that is superior in every possible conceivable way. Red mage good, black mage bad. That's the propaganda here at Gavaroc Industries, and if you don't agree with it, well, you are welcome to your wrong opinion. But I digress. Ganelon. Yes? I'm a busy man. If you're looking for small talk, I suggest you look elsewhere. No need to be rude, Ganelon. He's a friend of mine. Now, what say you share your latest findings with us? I promise I'll make it worth your while. Ellie! Huh. If it isn't the Mithril Star's star reporter. Come to have a laugh at Ganelon's expense before returning to pen your latest front-page feature, eh? Oh, very well. Just promise you'll put in a good word for me with the higher-ups, okay? Now let me tell you this. Strange things afoot at the Colosseum. Are there indeed? Bugger all! It's a travesty, I tell you! Hotch, Hugh and Hamo. Whatever is the matter? And where, pray tell, is Hutchin? The four of you will compete for the cup together, yes? I fear that an unfortunate mishap has left Hutchin in no condition to fight. We were just on our way to convey the dire news to Dower Meadow. Mishap, my ass! This was sabotage! Some bloody coward out there will stop at nothing to eliminate his competition. I swear it on my subligar. Lower your voice, Hotch. My head stings enough without your bloody shouting. Hatchin! Should you not be resting your wounds? Ah, but forgive your incompetent, unworthy comrade. If I'd been quicker with my mantra, we would still be 4 men strong. Do not berate yourself so, Hamo. In victory and defeat, the Manderville's fight has won. You bear no real more responsibility for my wounds than I. Any road, I dare say I'll not be getting back into fight and fettle my arsing about in bed. I'm ready to chant some mantras. How about the lot of you? Hutchin! For you I am always ready. Now that's what I like to hear. 1,000 mantras, and I want each one to ring out over the Sagali. Yay, mantras. Have the four of you considered pants? Sorry. The Mandervilles? Aye, as Hutchin tells it, they took their name from a training partner they met at the Fist of Rolga, a man they most admired for his devotion and chiselled physique. Consider me not the least bit interested. This talk of attacks on the competitors, however, of this I would hear more. Hey, I'm interested. That sounds suspiciously similar to something we heard just before from... Oh, well, very well. Ah, yes. I mentioned that some strange things were afoot, yes? With mere days left before the Mithril Cup, a staggering number of would-be combatants have withdrawn, citing a host of curious ailments and injuries. With the list of entrants shrinking by the day, the organisers have been forced to abandon the elimination format in favour of a mass melee between what few battlers remain. The Phantom Thief's challenge. Gladiators dropping like flies. No, this is no mere coincidence. I would speak to the individual in charge of the event. Where might I find him? Though the concern sponsors the tourney, the day-to-day organisational duties are being handled by a fellow by the name of Dower Meadow. He should be in his office within the Colosseum's halls. I'll send word to the gateman, Yugubaya. He owes the Mithril a favour or two. Splendid. Come, Gavaroc. We've got a case to crack. Let's go find this Dower Meadow and see what he can tell us about the tourney. Ganlon said we could find him in his office at the Colosseum, yes? With gladiators dropping one after the next, I've had to rewrite my Mithril Cup preview 5 times in the past 2 days. Ugh, make that 6. And off to the Colosseum we go. By way of the Thaumaturge's Guild, why not? Not a place I'd ever had cause to visit before, the Gladiators Guild. Allergic as I am to the art of the tank. I do enjoy Warrior, but that's mostly for the screaming, shouting and murdering than the protecting of my friends. From the Mithril Eye, you say? Then by all means you are free to enter. I am Ellie, reporter for the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing, you know the deal, yes? And you must be Dower Meadow. I was hoping I could ask you a few questions about the upcoming tourney. Now that is an outfit, sir.
Ha ha ha! Who am I to argue with free publicity? And from a charming little thing like yourself. Ask away, me girl. That said, between the challenge from that so-called Phantom Thief, and now these bizarre attacks targeting our fighters, our tourney's already the talk of the town. Not that you'll see me complaining. Provided someone's still left to fight, that is. You're free to investigate as you wish, but you'd be smart to exercise some caution. Needless to say, recent events have everyone here a bit on edge. Why, just moments ago, one fighter almost took off another's head for insulting the colour of his subliga. Looks like we've got ourselves another... These two aren't in the entry books. I don't believe the entry books could contain them. Oh, and... punched in the arse again! And our challenger unleashes a vicious right hook as the gentleman inspector was channeling his strength for the next attack. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner! Inspector Briardian. As efficient as ever, I see.
A true gentleman eschews violence. Inspector?
You were thinking. It annoyed me. Dower Meadow, I presume. Tell me everything you can about the prizes for this tourney, and try to be brief.
Was wondering when you might ask. Master Feargeist has spared no expense in making the Mithril Cup the most lucrative tourney this Colosseum's ever seen. The victor will receive a true treasure for his collection, the Warden's Grace, a ring fitted with the largest sun sphere you'll find outside a car. The second and third place prizes are nothing to sneeze at neither, but I don't care how many faces he's got. We've nothing to fear from this thief. The concern has hired an elite regiment of stone torches to watch over the vault day and night. Yes, just as the brass blades were so successful in stopping the thief last time. If you want your treasures safe, go fetch them and bring them to me. Be quick about it. I haven't all day. To be fair, Inspector, you don't exactly have a good track record with this thief yourself. Fear I can't do that, Inspector. After all, what proof do I have that you ain't Mr. Many-Faces in another of his elaborate get-ups? No, if you want to get your hands on the spoils, you'll have to claim them as any other would. In battle. As a matter of fact, what with the ranks thinned as they are, we're actively recruiting new competitors. The more the merrier, and the more lucrative at that. Ha ha ha! Now where did our receptionist get off to? Over here, you slimy bugger! We got some fresh blood for the melee!
Now, I don't recall agreeing to anything.
Give me a moment, will ya? I've only got 8 arms. Or were they legs?
Now, it is not often in my life that I have heard a voice that interesting from behind me before gazing upon its owner's face. But a few times it's happened. And whenever it has usually been a portent of very silly things to come. And this meeting was no exception. As he squelched into the room.
You called? I was just about to give the lovely Miss Avila the grand tour. Inspector Hildibrand, look! He's purple.
Astute as ever, Nashu. This colour, this overabundance of appendages, I smell a case. Ah, that's just my receptionist, Ultros. Don't be startled now. He's an ugly little bugger, but he's friendly enough. Word has it he was one of many bizarre creatures born from a recent experiment with ancient incantations at the Thaumaturge's Guild. They were going to seal him away in a hole in the desert with the others, when he opened his slobbering mouth and started pleading for his life. I just want to live in peace, he said. I'll do anything, anything. And so the management hired him to perform odd jobs about the Colosseum.
And am I ever glad they did. I tell you, this job ain't glamorous, but it sure has its perks. What a delicious morsel. I want to get my tentacles around her. Oh god, she's looking at me. Why do they always make that face?
I know not who you are or where you hail from, and I do not care. If you dare challenge me, my Tempest Blade will show you no mercy. You can forget about your case, Inspector. There's only one who will claim the victor's spoils, and that's me.
Ooh, I just love it when she talks rough. Now who's the chump who wanted to get a pummeling by my lovely little Abby?
No, no, no! Oh! Ah, there we go.
Though a gentleman takes far more pride in rescuing fair damsels than fighting them, I fear we have little recourse. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, shall do what must be done to...
Gavaroc Fevinor will be entering the tournament on my behalf. No, no, no! Bree? We're gonna have words. Or rather, I'm going to have words. The only words that you will be exclaiming during our conversation will be, "Ah!"
and please stop hurting me. But I suppose we can save that for a later date. Gavaroc Fevinor? Well, you do look like a Fevinor. Well, bugger me with a spear. To think I'd see the day when a warrior of light stood in my Colosseum. Hear that clink, clink, clinking? That's the sound of gil pouring into our coffers when the public finds out that a true Eorzean hero will be stepping into the ring to fight for the Mithril Cup. Oh, and I reckon your friend can tag along too. Show him where to sign, old T. As the terrible creature slithered away, we continued.
With Gavaroc, I suppose we have as good a chance as any. Now we just need to make sure that he doesn't come down with some curious injury. Ooh! Ah! Oh no! Owie! Oochie, oochie, Oochenstein. I think I may have broken my leg. Sorry, Hildibrand will have to do it after all. I need to go rest in my magical flying bed. Bye! That gladiatrix. Avila, was it? Seemed quite certain of her chances at victory. Suspiciously certain, I would say. Ha ha! I am already 10 steps ahead of you, Inspector. That Ultros fellow seemed most knowledgeable about Miss Avila. Come, Nashu! The investigation is afoot. As much as that sounds like an amazingly productive line of investigation, might I suggest that our first priority is to keep Gavaroc here safe? Let us return to Ganelon and see what else he can tell us of these mysterious attacks on the combatants. Very well. I shall leave that task to you. I have a lead of my own to investigate. Should you uncover any new information, I trust you will share it with me at first opportunity. You've got it. I would be more than happy to share my thoughts with you, Briardian. In a quiet room, away from witnesses, soundproofed so that you cannot scream for help. You miserable sack of bastards. Still, for now, my rage would remain unsatisfied. As I returned to Ganelon. I suppose that our questioning of Master Ultros can wait. Let us see if this Ganelon fellow can enlighten us. Look, I know you're the Warrior of Light and all, but we still can't afford to take any chances, yeah? Be on your guard, Gavaroc. You again? I've already told you that... What? Entered the tourney, you say? Are you out of your bleeding mind? Look, I've got a suspicion or two, which I'm happy to share with you, but in the end, you have to protect yourself, you hear? So, alright, I've been asking around, and it seems that more than a few of the fighters who pulled out of the tourney were scheduled to fight a warrioress by the name of Avila. Now, I can't make any promises, but my instincts tell me this girl is bad news. But don't take it from me when you can just hear it from someone who crossed blades with her days ago. A fellow by the name of Raging Rat had the misfortune of being matched up with Avila in the preliminary round and earned himself a right bruising from it all. Last I heard he was resting up back at the Pugilists Guild. Why don't you pay him a visit? I don't need telling twice. As far as names go, Raging Rat does not exactly instill a sense of might and glory. Brings more to mind the image of a tiny, screaming, ineffective creature who wants to change the world but can barely bruise it. Not unlike a Lalafell. Come to have a good laugh at old Raging Rat's expense, have you? Well, you're not the first. I say, is there not a man in this entire realm with an ounce of sympathy? Greetings, good sir. How fortunate you are today that your guest is Hildibrand Manderville, gentleman and inspector. Now, if you would, please enlighten me as to how exactly it was that you were beaten to a bloody pulp by a girl. Gentleman, my ass! Have you not a whit of delicacy?
Never you mind. Look, the records may say I lost, but I'll admit to nothing of the sort. I'll shout it at the top of my lungs if no one else will. The girl doesn't fight fair. Tempest Blade, some kind of foul sorcery, if you ask me. Mark my words, that girl is up to no good. If she weren't so damned easy on the eyes, she'd be rotting in jail as we speak. The girl's Alamegan, or haven't you heard? You know how it is with those refugees. Why fight with honour when you got nothing to lose? Yes, and why not disparage an entire people in a pathetic attempt to salvage a sorry pride? This one's a real piece of work, Gavaroc. Let's be on our way. I didn't mean no offence, miss. Just telling it like it is, as it were.
If I may convey upon you, the viewer, some advice. The type of person who claims to tell it like it is, or worse, to just be saying what everyone's thinking, they are always the asshole. There are no exceptions. If that is the attitude to which you adhere, the asshole is you. Congratulations. Best of luck with your future friendships.
Perhaps it truly is some manner of sorcery, as the fellow says. Or perhaps she works with an accomplice.
She didn't strike me as the magic-wielding type. If I were a betting woman, I'd put my gill on the latter.
Ah, Miss Ellie! The thrill of the chase has struck a chord with you as well. Yes, I can see it in the wrinkles beneath your eyes. We might very well make an inspectress of you yet.
I'll give you a good wrinkle, you insensitive boar. If what the man says is true, it's likely that her fellow Alamegans might sympathise with her plight. An accomplice would hardly be out of the question.
Yes, I can see it now. Two unfortunate souls, shunned by those around them, united by destiny and a common desire for justice. Ample appendages whirling wildly, sending gusts of wind flying every which way. Avila and Ulti, a match made in the heavens. Were it any more obvious, Avril Lavigne would have written a song about it. Wait, hang on, that's not the line. Were it any more obvious, I could have solved this case without leaving my home.
Incredible! Your powers of deduction never fail to amaze, Inspector.
What is it with you two and that infernal octopus?
Master Ultros should still be at the Colosseum. Let us hurry before he slithers back off to whencesoever he came.
A poorly written hentai, I believe. And then everybody slowly walked away, elongating the end of that particular scene unnecessarily.
Back to the Colosseum.
For perhaps the 150th time, I found myself longing for access to my mount while in a city. But despite the misery of having to walk with my own two human-y legs, we did eventually make it back to Hildibrand, and our next destination.
Shh, friend, and look over yonder. Behold those exquisite legs, those stylish tentacles, the unearthly undulations of his squirmy, squishy body. Yes, our friend Ulti is a most fascinating creature indeed. Behold how he carefully eyes the gladiatrix before him. What manner of mischief is he plotting? He speaks! Yes, this is most suspicious indeed. Oh, what is this? The girl has fled, in a panic! Our friend Ulti appears to be discouraged. Look at the way his shoulders sag. Or how they would sag if he had shoulders. Our quarry is on the move. Quickly, Nashu, we must pursue.
Must we, though? Alas, agency is denied me, for I am merely the witness to these events, and must go whither the wild bastard roams. Though in this case it probably is a good idea to follow the octopus. Suspicious fucker of the mothers, he definitely is.
Mr. Olty seems to have found himself another gladiatrix. What might he be plotting this time? Look at those succulent legs. I reckon they'd taste just wonderful in a good marinara sauce. Mmm, marinara sauce. Ah, he speaks! And another girl rushes off. Whatever did he say to her?
I don't know, but a frying pan is an interesting weapon for a gladiatrix.
He looks so sad. Shall we douse him in lemon butter and put him out of his misery, Inspector? Whatever is he doing with these girls, anyway?
Call me crazy, but I think he likes them. Well, they most assuredly don't like him on account of their possessing a pair of eyes, ears, and good sense. But nonetheless, our pursuit of the very suspicious and deeply uncomfortable octopus would have to wait a few moments more.